The hallway was dark and quiet, except for the squeak of the mop. David checked his watch and wiped sweat from his forehead. He opened the small supply closet door very slowly. Curled up on a pile of towels was his 5-year-old daughter. She was sleeping soundly, holding her stuffed bear. David whispered that he was almost done with his shift. He was terrified that security would find her there. If he got caught, he would lose the only job he had. But suddenly, the elevator dinged and footsteps approached. David's heart stopped when he saw who was walking down the hall. David was a good man who was just trying to survive. His wife had left them 2 years ago because she didn't want to be a mother. David was left with a toddler and a mountain of unpaid bills. He worked 2 jobs to keep a roof over their heads. During the day, he washed dishes at a restaurant. At night, he cleaned the floors of the tallest building in the city. Usually his neighbor watched his daughter Mia for free. But tonight the neighbor was sick and could not help. David called every babysitter his phone book. They all wanted $50 up front, which he did not have. He had 2 choices: stay home and get fired or take Mia with him. He wrapped Mia in a blanket and snuck her into the building. He told her it was a secret spy mission and she had to be quiet. She promised to be good and fell asleep in the warm closet. David cleaned the floors faster than he ever had before. He just wanted to finish the executive floor and get out. He was mopping outside the CEO's office when the elevator opened. Out stepped Mr. Henderson, the owner of the entire company. Mr. Henderson was known for being strict and very serious. He never smiled, and he fired people for small mistakes. David froze and held his mop tightly, hoping to be invisible. Mr. Henderson walked past him without even saying hello. He went into his office and slammed the heavy glass door. David let out a breath and hurried to the supply closet. He needed to wake Mia up and leave right now. But just as he reached for the door handle, Mia coughed. It was a loud cough that echoed in the silent hallway. The door to the CEO's office flew open immediately. Mr. Henderson stepped out looking angry and confused. He asked David what that noise was. David stammered and said it was just the pipes creaking. Then Mia coughed again and started to cry for her dad. Mr. Henderson pushed past David and opened the closet door. He saw the little girl sitting on the pile of towels. She looked up at the tall man in the suit with big, scared eyes. David dropped his mop and fell to his knees. He begged Mr. Henderson not to fire him. He explained that he had no money for a babysitter. He promised it would never happen again. Mr. Henderson stared at the girl and then at the trembling janitor. The hallway was silent for a very long, terrifying minute. Mr. Henderson's face was unreadable and cold. Then he slowly knelt down on one knee in his expensive suit. He looked at Mia and asked her if she was hungry. Mia nodded her head shyly and said she wanted pizza. Mr. Henderson stood up and took out his phone. David thought he was calling security to throw them out. Instead, Mr. Henderson ordered a large pizza and 3 sodas. He invited David and Mia into his huge office. David was shocked and too scared to say no. They sat on the leather couch while Mr. Henderson sat at his desk. When the pizza arrived, a strict CEO took a slice. He looked at David and told him a secret. He said that 30 years ago, he was a night janitor too. He told David that he used to bring his son to work just like this. He remembered the fear of getting caught and the pain of poverty. He said he worked hard to become the boss so he could change things. But he had forgotten where he came from until tonight. Seeing Mia in that closet woke him up. Mr. Henderson wiped a tear from his eye and smiled at Mia. He told David that he was not going to fire him. Instead, he was going to promote him to the maintenance manager. The new job came with day shifts and a much higher salary. But that was not all Mr. Henderson wanted to do. He said the company had a daycare center on the first floor. He offered to pay for Mia to attend the daycare for free. David started crying and could not stop shaking. He thanked Mr. Henderson for saving their lives. Mia ran over and hugged the scary boss around his legs. Mr. Henderson hugged her back and laughed for the first time in years. David started his new job on Monday morning, wearing a clean uniform. He dropped Maya off at the daycare where she made new friends. They moved into a nice apartment with heat and good food. David worked hard and eventually became a director in the company. He never forgot the night he thought he lost everything. And Mr. Henderson never forgot the janitor who reminded him to be human. Success is not about how high you climb up the ladder. It is about reaching back down to pull others up with you. We all have struggles that nobody else can see. Be the boss who builds people up instead of tearing them down.